welcome to the latest episode of the AEG show. I'm your host this week, DG3. These guys will never call me that, but I have to start every episode by saying that because I'm going to beat it into someone's head eventually. Got a couple different things to talk to you guys about. Obviously, the big PlayStation 5 reveal with all the indie titles and all this other stuff in that. So definitely go into that. I got some fun AEG stats for you. But before we get into all that, I want to introduce our other guys. We have Colt 40.
Hey,
There he
me.
is. That sweet voice. There it is. We have JB.
What's up?
Yeah, so badass. And then we have Marlon.
Everybody, this ammo. This not Marlon. Marlon can
What
go
the
fuck a dick.
fuck?
So, how you guys doing?
What the
You had trouble
was
understanding
unexpected.
that. That was because it was in Spanish. And then, of course, back from the dead, we have Goose. What's up, man?
Hanging in there, brother. Thanks for welcoming me back. I appreciate that.
Oh, anytime, man. You already know that. But yeah, I want to get into this a little bit, fellas. Obviously, the big PlayStation 5 reveal, the thing that everyone's been waiting for months now, ever since Microsoft decided to unveil the Xbox Series X back at the Game Awards, I believe, in December. Now we've all been fairly disconnected from the gaming world, but I think all of us tuned into that, if I'm
Yep.
not mistaken.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts? Anyone want to start this off? Feel free.
I for one, I was extremely, I was very pleased. Probably one of the best like reveal events that I've seen. Even like thinking back to when the PS4 and the Xbox One, were shown. I had a hell of a time watching it. I didn't get to watch it live, unfortunately, so I got like Twitter updates. So like the internet exploded, and then I finally got to see it. So but overall, I was extremely impressed. I love the look of the console, which I know we'll get into. But pretty much every big AAA title and even a lot of the indie titles, I was extremely impressed with. I'm excited to try some of them out, like stuff I didn't think I would want to get into and play. I feel like I'm gonna give it a shot down the line when it eventually comes out.
Fair enough.
And I'm gonna pick it up next. Just disclaimer for the listeners out there. I've been, as Dalton alluded to at the beginning, I'm pretty disconnected from gaming, and I'm just sort of jaded. I just haven't been paying attention much. But I was kind of excited at what they showed. I'll be honest, it sort of just seemed like more of the same. Dalton talked about some of the impressive indie titles. Well, I'm going to let him talk about that. But some of the indie titles look pretty good. I was excited for Ratchet and Clank. I thought Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Spider-Man was cool. Horizon Zero Dawn 2, but it felt just like more of the same. Like we know what we're gonna get with Spider-Man, with Horizon Zero Dawn 2. We know what we're gonna get with Ratchet. We know we're gonna get with Spider-Man, which was a weird sort of reveal. Like when I saw that, I'm like, there's no way that Insomniac is gonna crank out a sequel in 2 years, less than 2 years. So, and then they sort of clarified, like, oh no, like think of it like a Lost Legacy type deal, which is fine,
Right.
which is totally fine with me. I think the design of the console looks pretty cool. Although Marlon said something that was funny because when I was watching it, my cousin said the same thing. Just Alienware sort of reminds me of something that Alienware would touch. I was
Definitely.
surprised that they had a digital edition, like an all digital edition,
Right.
right away, right off the bat. I think that's going to be like the entry level one. We'll
Yeah, I
see
think they're
how
gonna
it
do
goes.
Two separate price points, probably not probably a very disparaging price points, like maybe a $50 difference, maybe at max $100 difference. But
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that they're both gonna launch at $499.
you think so?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll be wrong, but I think it'll be bold of Sony to do such a thing. What else was I impressed by? No, that was pretty much it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
that's
I
good.
definitely understand where you're coming from, like the more of the same. Like, I mean, none of the titles, I guess. I mean, a lot of the indie titles are something a little unique, like some of them. But like all the big like tentpole stuff, like you said, Spider-Man, Ratchet, Horizon, like Gran Turismo. It's obviously like we know what to pretty much expect from those franchises at this point.
Yeah.
So I
Resident-
definitely see where you're coming from there.
Resident Evil 8 looked good. I think
Yes.
probably the most impressive thing to me, which I wasn't expecting it to be because I'm not a big JRPG guy, was that game from Square, Project Althea, I think.
Yeah, I think that's how you
Yep.
pronounce it.
Athia.
Something, yeah. I think that looked pretty dope. What else did I like?
I like
I was
the Demon
extremely
Souls
excited about
remaster or
Yeah,
remake.
Demon
Oh, the
Souls
Demon Souls
remaster.
remasters. Yeah, that looks pretty dope.
Hitman 3. was a
Hitman
big
3. Yeah. But yeah, I'll kick it off to whoever's next.
We're gonna go for a
I'll
call.
go. I was joyfully surprised. I mean, I wasn't like, I've pretty much made it clear that I was gonna buy an Xbox at reveal, like at launch day, but this might have kind of converted me for the time being. Like, Ratchet and Clank for sure was 100% my favorite thing. Like, that looks fucking amazing.
Yep.
I love that entire series, and it just looks so fun, and it got me so juiced up. Gran Turismo looks sweet. I would love a Gran Turismo at launch again. Like, I feel like that used to be like a staple, and now it's always like 2 years after a console launch. So you're always like just kind of stuck feeling like you're waiting till basically midway through a console cycle for a new Gran Turismo, which is supposed to be like PlayStation's racer. And Demon Souls, yeah, looked fucking awesome. Like that, oh, those side-by-side comparison photos are unreal. Like, you want to see what current day power is. That's what you look at, is that game.
Absolutely.
Like Resident Evil, you mentioned, that one kind of caught me off guard. I was like watching the trailer and I was like, what is this? And then like when the 8 came up, I was like, oh, I was like, okay. Then just kind of like the random stuff that was thrown in, like the You Are What You Eat game or whatever.
Deathloop.
That was
Oh yeah, Deathloop.
Death-
Ooh,
looks
definitely.
sick.
Yes, it's good. It's arcane.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think the game you're referring to is that Bug Snacks or whatever from the Octodad
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, that game looks fucking
It's
weird.
So weird.
Oh, that looks stupid as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it looks,
So-
I think it looks silly.
Jeff's
You know what
got
game-
4
So
copies
random.
pre-ordered.
You know, collector
Moneybags, Jeff.
Yeah, you know it.
You know what game really kind of sort of threw me off that I was pretty excited about because I was not expecting it to be first person was Ghostwire Tokyo from
Yeah.
Tango Games.
Yes.
That's Mikami's game. Yeah, it looks pretty dope, but
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be in first
I was-
person.
Right. That was like the last thing I expected to be kind of in the same vein as everything else he's ever really done. At least recent stuff like Evil
Third
Within.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange.
So
Yeah, and then I think I might go digital, seeing like things I never thought I would say. I might get a digital PlayStation because if it comes out with like the rumored 2 terabytes, like that's a decent amount. I'm gonna buy an external anyways. Like I might go digital. Who knows? Let's get weird.
I'm leaning towards the digital.
I can't.
edition as well.
Y'all are nuts.
I can't
I've
even
always
if I
been a
wanted
physical guy.
to.
I
oh
don't.
man.
Like
I buy
I
all
don't
my
know.
stuff digital right
It looks
now
so good
anyway.
without the
It
disc drive.
doesn't.
I've got
It's
a-
not going to do anything different for me.
I've got a pretty sizable physical library, and if I go digital, I'm throwing that all away, and I'm not gonna do that.
I know. I've always been like a collector, so it's weird for me. But like, it just looks the side by side comparison of disc drive and no disc drive.
Oh, it looks really good. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
no
I
disc drive
agree.
just looks so good.
I think it was done on purpose too. Like, hey, this is the one that looks shitty. You want to stay away from it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Try-
trying to get people out of physical
Just looks
copies
off
by making
because-
it look like
Yeah, because like
garbage.
the disc drive is not in the middle; it's like off to the side. So it's like, okay, there's just something weird about this one. I don't know.
Unpopular opinion though, I like the off shape of the disc drive. I'm not gonna lie. I think it looks cool.
It sort of reminds me a little bit of the oval shape of the OG PS3.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what you're going for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As for me, when it comes to my overall impressions of the patient, I will say this. I'm gonna split it into 2 parts. Number 1 is
Elmo really likes Bugsnack. It was really, really
God
fucking
damn
good.
it.
fucking name, and I hated that game.
Christ.
I fucking hated that game. Through the entire presentation, I was feeling like Gustavo was saying, like it's more of the same. It's a lot of cool graphical updates for most of these games, but for the most part, it just feels like your typical E3 presentation that you would get from PlayStation or from Microsoft. You know, there was nothing in it that was making me go, making me feeling hype about it. So I am at the job, and let's say this, I really was just, man, really, this is it? Like, even Ratchet and Clank was like, okay, great, we're getting Ratchet and Clank, perfect, beautiful, I'm happy about that. But it didn't make me feel like, yeah, this is PlayStation 5. We get into Bugsnax, and I'm like, fudge, man, are you serious? I was about to throw away. I was about to take off the stream. I was literally about to go like, you know what? I'm done. I had it. And then literally the next sequence was, Demon Souls remake. And I was like, all right, that's it. This was the presentation for me. I don't need to know anything more about the PlayStation 5. I'm buying a PlayStation 5. That's it. Fuck everything else. Fuck Horizon Zero Dawn. Fuck Ratchet and Clank. I was like, I am getting Demon Souls. That's it. That's what got it for me in this entire presentation. Because
I'm actually the opposite. I was like, I will probably play everything else except Demon Souls because I can't get into those games. So,
dude, here's the thing: when Demon Souls came out, like the trailer came out, I was like, all I needed was the first two notes of the drums going doom doom, and then I'm like, oh shoot, this is Demon Souls. This is Demon Souls remake. And then I see like the hollow, or the corpse, dangling from the freaking final boss. I was like, hell yeah, this is
Well, I got a Diablo impression, like right for like a split second when I saw that trailer. I'm like, is this Diablo? And then
everybody was getting a Diablo, was getting Elden Ring. Everybody was getting either a Bloodborne or Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of Elden Ring. I forgot about that game.
So for me, it was like, nah, this is Demon Souls. This is Demon Souls, and we're finally getting a remake for the PlayStation 5. So for me, I was really happy about it. Having said that, I really love what they're going with Horizon Zero Dawn, too.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely playing
that. That was probably the only thing that I sort of got me hyped besides Ratchet and Clank.
And that game Horizon looks like if that was like gameplay running, like that is one of the prettiest goddamn games I've ever seen in my life.
That's the butter game. That's the butter game. That looks so good.
Absolutely.
So, which means that because we are going to be getting the PS5, which means that I gonna have to upgrade my monitor and finally get a 4K as opposed to keeping that 1080p, which means I gotta start.
Hey, it'll super sample at least.
Get into that super sampling.
I think for me, I think probably the reason I was so disappointed is just the way Sony has been rolling things out. Like there was such big anticipation on my part, and I guess to be fair to them, they were never really going to live up to it. So that was probably it for me. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll be in day one.
I'm definitely getting a PS5. I'm still on the fence. Now that I have my gaming PC, I'll probably do like all the Xbox / PC exclusive. I'll just play on PC, and then everything else I'll pretty much play on PlayStation.
Yeah, if you got a decent PC, like there's no reason to get an Xbox. Like you can play everything there.
Exactly. But these new consoles are going to be impressive. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
That SSD in that PS5 is, I guarantee it's faster than the SSD I have in my PC. I guarantee.
It is actually. It doesn't exist on the on the PC side. Yeah, at least not yet.
Right, and I think that's where they're gonna make up. Like I said, we were saying it like last year. Like they got to do something to make up for like maybe graphical disadvantages and all that stuff, for CPU disadvantages. And I think they did it. I think they found it in the SSD. So we'll definitely see when the time comes.
How things run.
It's kind of why I don't buy the fact that the all digital edition is going to be 2 terabytes, because they're like, if you think about it, like 825 gigabytes is such like an odd arbitrary number, but there's a reason for that. It's so they can hit those speeds that they're trying to hit.
And like a 2 terabyte SSD is going to cost like, I don't know, probably. Yeah, it's going to cost a shitload of money, especially for this, fancy SSD they're clamoring on about and shit. It's not going to be fucking cheap, especially when you get that size. I mean, it's going to be quite a bit of money. I mean, it's possible. It is possible.
500 gig SSDs are running $150 just by themselves. So you think, 2 terabyte probably be about the same as the damn system.
Obviously, Sony's going to get a better price on them because
Oh yeah,
they're manufacturing how many consoles
mass
at launch.
producing.
Yeah.
Basically.
And like I'm definitely gonna get one day one as long as I can secure the pre-order. I mean, we saw how fast they sold out last time, or not last time. PS4, like PS4 was unattainable for like I don't know months.
Yeah, I didn't get mine until March of 2014.
I got lucky and got mine in December of 2013. I called a Walmart that was like half an hour away, and I drove through a blizzard and ended up getting the last one by the time I got there. I remember that clearly. I made my wife. We were in the Walmart in our hometown in Norwalk, and she's like had a bunch of stuff in her hands like that she was gonna buy, and I made her put it all down because I called this other Walmart. I was like, put all that shit back, and we drove all the way to Oberlin to pick it up. I got the last fucking one too, dude. I literally, because the people in front of me bought 2. I was like, you cocksuckers, there better be one left. Swear to God. Swear to fucking God. But there was.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky back then because I was working at GameStop, so I definitely it was a little easy to get one just because I pretty much had first dibs on it. Because I mean,
it's funny because I like how the fact that you guys were talking about the PlayStation 4, how difficult it was. Yet, for some reason, I cannot find any Switch near my area for some goddamn reason.
No one can.
Yeah.
It's like you would think that's one of the consoles that would be easily accessible.
For 2 minutes, I thought of selling mine just because of the resale value. I was like, nah, I can't do that.
I've been reporting people on like Let Go and OfferUp and Craigslist have been price gouging them. I just make sure I'm doing the Lord's work, man.
Oh my God. He's like the female version of
I'm
Karen,
reporting
dude.
everybody, dude. I'm like, fuck you people. Like,
Oh my God.
I saw some dude, he's like selling he's like new-ish Switch with everything for $500. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, I don't know if it's getting taken down, and I'm not like following up with these people, not like sending them messages and shit. But I've said my opinions on Nintendo last episode. So
speaking of price gouging, there was a post on eBay because I was looking for a really long time for plates and weight plates and stuff like that, and power bars and stuff like that, gym equipment. And for some reason, I'm looking here on eBay, and I'm like, you know what? Let me look at the Switch. Let's see how things are going in that front. And there was a guy selling used Nintendo Switch with 5 games. Now, the Nintendo Switch was completely scratched. Like, it looked like some dog I got into it and just completely
shit on it.
Yeah. $600. And I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding.
Bad dog.
Like $600. He was selling the Nintendo Switch completely destroyed, like, and it just looked horrible.
To his credit, though, it had 5 games. I saw some motherfucker trying to sell one without a right Joy-Con.
What?
Swear to God, dude. And he wanted like $425 for it. It had everything but the right Joy-Con. I'm like, why is there no, like, what happened to it? Wasn't even in the picture. Like, it didn't say, it's here, but it doesn't work. Nothing. It was just fucking gone. So.
It's like asking, going, hey, this week we're gonna sell you 2 socks, but the right one is missing. So it's like, yeah, good luck with
my
that.
wife wore it out. But no, Nintendo.
So actually, speaking of unattainable consoles, anybody here pre-order or even thought about buying that Last of Us 2 console?
No, I got the controller though. I did get the controller. The only reason I got it though is because I went up to Target the other day. It was like the next day, my kid decides he wants to take my controller and dunk it in the dog's water bowl over and over and over again. So like, yeah, I was like, dude, awesome. And I gave him a high five and shit. Like, we're good. But so it didn't, needless to say, didn't work. So I would go up to Target to get a controller, and it was literally the last controller they had. It was the Last of Us 2 version. I'm like, oh, cool. I forgot about that. So I just got it. It was $64 or whatever.
I considered grabbing the headset. I thought the headset looked really cool, like very subtle. But no, this is one of the few consoles it looks freaking amazing, but I can't.
It's too close to the end of a console generation, man. I can't.
That too. And yeah, like if it was like, midway through, like, yeah, I probably would have pounced on that because that thing is freaking gorgeous. But
you would have bought one for sure.
Yeah. But now it's just
probably like 3, dude.
Gotta fuck with Jeff for sure. But no, I didn't even want to buy the controller, to be honest with you, but I have to have 2 controllers. Like, I have to. So It's the only reason I did that.
For me, I am saying this right now. We're gonna be getting The Last of Us 2 PS5 edition, and it's gonna it's gonna be a limited edition console. It's gonna come out. I want to say,
You know what? Just real quick, I'm gonna cut you off, Marlon, because I feel like cutting you off. Can we just get into how look at his face? He's just loving it. He's like, oh great, he's back. Great, this is what he does.
This motherfucker.
Sorry, Marlon. You know I love you. I'm just saying that to smooth it over. I don't really love you. So can we just get into how horrible Sony has handled their backwards compatibility messaging in regards to Xbox? Like, come the fuck on.
Oh god. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but I believe when they first announced the hardware and shit for the PS5, and they were talking about the backwards compatibility, we all gave them so much shit for it. Because when they first did it, it was and then we were all bummed out that it was just PS4 titles at first. I don't know if that's still the case. I'm not gonna lie, I have not looked into it, but
as far as I know, yes, that is still accurate.
But
it's not. From what I remember reading, because they came out after that technical presentation that they did, and were like it's like 100 titles I read somewhere, but then other places said it's more than that. Like they're working on the top 100 titles, and then eventually we'll add more, or it's kind of like how the Xbox's backwards compatibility started. You know how they didn't when they originally started backwards compatibility, they didn't dump everything backwards compatible all at one time. They gradually added stuff over time.
I believe they're still adding shit too.
I think they're done, but
yeah, they were done. I think last year or something. That's when they gave out 2 Human. That's when they finished, and that whole backwards compatibility team sort of shifted over for next gen. But I think one of the people on Twitter, they confuse, and they like to do it on purpose, especially these fanboys. They're like, "Oh, smart delivery is copying cross-buy," and I'm like, I try not to get into it because I'm like, these people are stupid and they're just fanboys, so I don't want to get into it. I'm like, no, cross-buy and smart delivery is not the same thing. Microsoft is setting up a system where it's an open system where they're saying, hey, we're going to do it. We're going to lead the charge. If you buy something on an Xbox One, it's going to work on Xbox Series X. And not only that, but it's going to work better. You're going to get enhancements in terms of HDR, 4K, 60, whatever advantages or whatever power we can squeeze out of the powerful box, you're going to be able to enjoy that on whatever game you buy, even if you buy it on Xbox One, right? And they're like, hey, third party publishers, you can also partake in this. We're not forcing you to do it, but it's an option. Sony has said no such thing. We don't know what their plans are. If I buy The Last of Us 2, right, on PS4 and I play it on Pro, how is it going to run on PlayStation 5? We don't know. As opposed to we look at Halo Infinite, which is probably going to be their flagship, game, and we know that not only is it going to run on the peasant Xboxes, but it's also going to run amazing on the Xbox Series X, because they've told us that.
Right. Yeah. We don't know, actually. I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. I haven't given that one thought until you just said it. And that's going to be fucking with my head now for sure.
Yeah, because they announced or they showed off and announced the cover athletes for Madden 21 today. And that was one of the things I did see, though, that they said that you will be able to have versions of that game on the PS5 and Xbox Series X when they launch. But from what it sounded like, it's kind of like what you said, Gustavo, where it's you put the disc in and it gives you some type of enhancement. Maybe it's like a patch that they release that gives you, better, frame rate and graphics and all that stuff on those versions. But, that's the first time I've heard the PS5 and the Xbox Series X talked about that in the same conversation. Up until this point, it's always oh, it will be available on smart delivery, like Cyberpunk and stuff like that. So I don't know what if that's going to continue as we march closer to these launches or not.
Because I believe Madden was if you buy it up until January or February,
Corona protection,
you'll automatically get it for PS5. That's the other thing I totally forgot to mention, though. When the PS5 reveal is NBA 2K looks so sweet.
Right.
Yeah, I did.
He looks so sweaty.
So sweaty.
Love that.
Love
the sweaty.
Love the sweat. I love the sweaty guys.
You can see his nose sweating.
You can see everything. It's
That was
amazing.
pretty.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this next gen's gonna be fucking sweet.
I'm very excited.
Especially, I think it's gonna be comparable. It's gonna be comparable to PCs for a long time too. Like you're not gonna get the stutter. You know what I mean? Like that you have now with current gen consoles. You're not gonna have that. You're gonna be able to play on your PlayStation 5 or your new Xbox Series X, and you'll be able to be competitive. You'll be able to play these games at 60 frames per second at high quality for a long time, I think. And I think this console generation is going to be, it's probably going to be one of the best console generations of all time, like no doubt.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah.
it's they've done so much work prioritizing frames and prioritizing ray tracing. Ray tracing is the big one, and I think to those of you who haven't seen it yet, it's fucking amazing. Like, believe all the hype, because it's definitely on another level, and I think it's pretty cool that console players who maybe people like, especially people who maybe don't have the money to throw into a fucking badass gaming rig, or maybe they just don't care. They'd rather just sit on their couch and play games, which is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. They're going to be able to experience a lot of the shit that high-end PC gamers will be able to experience. So I think that's going to be. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Finish.
I just think that's going to be fucking awesome. I think it's going to be good for everybody, including PC gamers.
I'm glad that you ended with that sentence, because I was going to pick up on that. I think one of the bad things about consoles is that it just held PC gaming back, especially on the CPU side. Like, again, one of my favorite lines, developers would develop to the lowest common denominator, and for the longest time it was consoles, and it still is consoles, right? But the gulf in power is not as wide as it used to be.
Right. And that's the thing too, is you talked about a little bit earlier, price point. You said $499. I actually think it's going to be $599 for the disc version. And I think it's going to be either $499 or $549 for the discless version.
$599 for wow, that's
You're 100 above me. I'm thinking
I really think
500.
That's fair. You guys could be right. I could be super wrong, mind you. I have nothing to go off of other than like
a hunch.
Other than what I'm like, like a hunch, because I've seen the hardware. I know what's going to be in it to an extent. I've heard about this amazing SSD they're toting, and then I just think it's going to be $600. I really do. And
I guess I could see it just because of the technology, but I think that Microsoft is really itching to give fucking Sony a hammering. Yeah. And I think that they're going to try to undercut them.
I think
maybe the Series X drops at $400.
No. I think it'll be $499, but I think that rumored Lockhart, whether it launches at launch or not, is going to be like the Trojan horse.
Absolutely.
And I mean, what if something like the Lockhart drops at like $199? Something just insane.
I mean, I don't see it, because I mean, that would be awesome. I'm thinking like $299 or maybe $349. I'm thinking for this Lockhart, which we really don't know of as of yet. The rumor is that it's a 4 terabyte machine, but it's going to have the same CPU as the Xbox Series X, which is the most important thing, because then there's parity there. So then the only thing that developers would have to scale back would be graphics and not things like logic and physics and things like that, which would really affect the game.
It's a lot easier to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think Microsoft's going to have to do something like that too, because just based on, obviously this is not going to mean anything really for final sales. But if you look at like YouTube views, for example, look at the views on the PlayStation 5 reveal video. Like, it's insane. It's astronomical. I can't remember what the numbers are, but it's way higher than the Series X. It's like, I can't even remember what it was. It's
kind of pathetic, really.
And I read something too. It was like I think it is the most viewed like console reveal stream ever. Like,
But could
the anticipation is
not
there.
Shit going on in the world right now. Like,
well, that's also part
Xbox
of it.
reveal came out in like December when there was like other shit happening.
No, I agree.
Sports and stuff.
That's a factor for sure, but I still think Sony just got the mind share right now. People are antsy.
And like, plus, think about the Xbox reveal was during the Game Awards, one of the biggest times for like the gamers are paying attention too. So obviously there's definitely some
gamers are, but like the
Yeah,
common community, it might not be as much.
right.
Think about it. I think like the
There's-
I mean,
logo.
PS4 is like mid-afternoon, its own like standalone thing.
Yeah,
When they dropped the logo at CES, I think the logo had like 5 million likes or something on Twitter. Like a logo.
and it literally looks the
And they
same
were
as the
all
PS4 logo.
Dalton.
It's just a 5.
Yeah,
Exactly. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And you got to remember too, the PS4 crushed the Xbox One in terms of sales. Absolutely fucking obliterated it. Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
I know
Not even
Microsoft stopped
close.
turning in sales numbers a long time ago. They stopped reporting. Last I knew, they stopped reporting. But they're estimated, like, I think roughly, what, 50 million? Is that where they're roughly at? And I know
or something.
PlayStation 4 is like roughly 110 million at this point. That's just a guess. I know it was over like 105 at one point. So I'm going to say 110 billion.
So over double, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Here's the thing, though.
they've got the market right now. They've got the people that are, currently on their platform right now. So who knows, man? We could see a surprise, especially come holiday season.
I think my issue with PlayStation and Sony specifically is the fact that because they are, waving that big dick around, that they can, get away with some more hideous stuff that honestly I just don't like.
Nintendo.
Even Nintendo that hasn't done what they have done, and at least to a lesser extent what Sony has done. The Last of Us 2. For me, like the entire way that they went about The Last of Us 2 and the way that they deal with it just left me with a sour taste in my mouth. I mean, even now, as the reviews are coming out, they told the guys, hey, listen, you can only talk about this specific scenes, you can only talk about this amount of content in the game, the latter part of the game, you cannot say in your reviews. And for me, that leaves me with a... What's the word that I'm looking for here? It leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth because it shows that even though the game looks to be great and it looks to be, another home run from Naughty Dog, it's the fact that right now Sony is in save our highs and make sure that we don't look bad to the general public when it comes to The Last of Us 2. And I don't like it when companies get too deep into that type of stuff. I just feel like you should let your product do the talking as opposed to you mandating what you can or cannot talk about it. Which I understand that you're trying.
I think they're just being protective because of that big
Exactly.
leak a couple weeks back.
That's the
I
problem.
get it.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
Like I get it because because this is the thing. You can take any type of movie, any type of book, and if you spoil the big plots of the book, it just makes it look or sound bad. All right. If you go to somebody who has never seen The Matrix, and you tell, oh yeah, Neo dies, Trinity dies, Morpheus dies, everybody dies at the end. Like,
Well, way to go, Marlon. God damn it.
God damn it!
who's
Thanks for
that?
spoiling that.
Okay, if you haven't seen the Matrix 3, then I'm sorry, you got some issues.
This
Brother.
Thank
fucking
God.
guy.
Thank God I wasn't paying attention. Thank God I
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention.
So basically, when you start spoiling all that stuff, it takes from the moment that if you look at it from an organic point of view. And I think that's what the leaks did to The Last of Us too. They took a lot of the clientele and a lot of the fanboyism and just basically just put it in a very raw, I want to say moment, but just a very raw situation, which, Sony's like, oh shit, we got to do something about it. Do I think The Last of Us 2 is going to succeed? Hell yeah, man. It's 2 days and everybody's just giving it 10s and 9s, so it's going to do great.
I've had my limited edition or deluxe edition or whatever pre-ordered since they announced the February release date. Whenever the fuck that was. Whenever they opened up the pre-orders, that's how long I've had it pre-ordered.
Like
so.
what? Last November, I think.
I feel like it was before that. It feels like September, October when they announced it. But I could be wrong.
You're right. I
I don't
think
know.
you're right. I don't know. It's
But-
been a while.
But yeah, I've had my deluxe edition pre-ordered since then. I'm still excited, but I won't lie, the delays have
Wait,
killed some of my hype a little bit.
You're getting the backpack one?
No, just the steelbook version.
Oh,
That's
okay,
just
yeah,
the deluxe
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one.
How much
No,
was the backpack one?
I'm getting out of that shit. I'm getting out of collecting the collector's
I
editions and
can't
stuff
do
like
it
that.
anymore.
Yeah,
either.
I'm actually-
yeah,
I'm actually giving away my Cyberpunk collector's edition. So,
oh yeah, I saw some. I
Yeah,
think
saw
somebody
that
won it.
somebody
the other day.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
My old roommate.
Oh, nice. I
Oh,
didn't even
that's-
know who he was. I just
that's
kind of
fun.
picked them randomly.
That's
Yeah.
I threw out a couple of names of people I thought were douchebags. So I just threw them out of the drawing, and then No, I'm just kidding. And anyone listening, wink,
I'm
wink.
kind of sad, man. Like my GCU ends on the 22nd.
Mine's
no
over.
No more 20% off. I'm like, oh my god, I want
Yeah.
to cry.
I was kind of bummed about it because mine ended in May sometime. I don't remember the exact date, but I haven't pre-ordered anything since probably The Last of Us 2, actually. So
Like this fucking Corona shit probably is gonna cost me because E3 would have been probably like we would have been in the middle of E3 now.
yep.
And then at the end of E3, pre-orders go live, and I was thinking, I'm like, I'm gonna pre-order everything that I can on my big credit card and just fucking leave it there. Boom, fuck you, GCU, bye. But now I can't do that because
Nope.
fucking Corona.
Yep, and the
Dude,
GCU
man.
does stack though. So if you pre-order something that comes out after your GCU expires, you still get that price, which is kind of cool.
Fuck you, China.
Yeah, fucking China virus.
Fucking China.
Yeah.
Speaking of collector's editions, I might actually pony up and get one for the first time in like 5 years
Which one's
because of the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remaster.
Oh, you
with
get
the
that
skateboard?
Skateboard.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I-
excited
Pretty-
for that.
that looks pretty legit.
I want to hang that deck on my wall so bad.
Yeah,
That'd be
go for it,
pretty
dude. I
sweet.
think it's like
It's
100
not even that
bucks.
And
expensive.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's
was just
not,
saying
it's
it's
a
so reasonably priced.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Cool.
From
All you
Activision,
need
no
to-
less.
Yeah.
No
to
kidding.
Get
Yeah.
that collector's
Fuck is
edition,
going on?
Then you need to go hunt down, Tony Hawk, have them sign that freaking deck, and just basically,
Yeah.
hey, listen, I have the best fucking deck you can ever fucking find.
Dude,
For
I'm
me,
so
I don't-
excited for
I
that
don't- Yeah, I'm
pretty
remaster.
excited for
I
Let's
do it.
still
Damn it, I
play
last
1 and
pre-ordered.
N64 all the time.
My favorite's Underground personally, but I do like the originals quite a bit.
Yeah, Underground's very good. 1 through 3 are all just gold.
Yeah.
Even
4 was garbage.
4 was pretty good. 4 was pretty good. Like, I
4
didn't
tried
mind it.
something new, so it kind of fell flat for me, but they perfected it with the other ones. But yeah.
God, 1 and 2 were so good, and I'm literally so juiced up. I'm almost Ratchet and Clank juiced up to play those.
Speaking
remasters.
of speaking of Ratchet and Clank, I'll give my thoughts on the PS5 reveal real quick. Yeah.
2, I was late though.
Yeah, no shit, dude. But no, the only things that got me, I was a little excited when I saw the Spider-Man reveal. I platinumed the original, which obviously isn't saying much because it's pretty fucking easy. But so I'm pretty excited for that, and I love Miles Morales as Spider-Man. I think, like in everything I've ever seen him in the comics, that Spider-Verse movie, I think he's just a cool character. So I'm pretty
Absolutely.
excited for that. The one I was most excited for is very obvious. Horizon 2. Was it Forbidden West?
Yeah.
What it's called? So it's not Horizon Zero Dawn 2. It's Horizon
Nope,
2.
it's Horizon.
Forbidden
It's just Horizon Forbidden West. I think they dropped the 2
I don't know. There's a 2 in the
in the
titles.
logo, but yeah.
But yeah, that's the one that got me really excited because Horizon Zero Dawn is arguably the best game of 2017. Depends on who you ask, but it's top 2 for sure. And I fucking loved it, dude. When I played Horizon Zero Dawn, I got the platinum not because it was easy. I mean, it was an easy platinum, but I got it because I could not stop playing it. And when I first got that game, dude, I spent, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. I spent like 4 or 5 hours, not even doing missions. I was just hunting those fucking machines, man. I was just having so much fun, dude. The combat was so fluid and smooth. It just, they didn't really do anything like new with it, but I feel like they perfected it and they made it something that was super enjoyable to play from Guerrilla, no less, developers behind Killzone. Thank you. And they did something so different, and it was just, they fucking knocked it out of the park, I think. And pretty excited for the second one. I hope, and in a way, I do kind of hope it's more of the same, like Goose was saying. But I think they're just gonna build off of it, build off the platform they already had with the first one. So that was what got me the most excited about the PS5, and that'll be exclusive at least for a little while, till it inevitably comes to PC, apparently. Because the first one is now coming to PC eventually this summer, apparently. I was hoping for a surprise launch on PC after that. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't wait to see like the Digital Foundry analysis on it. I think that game is gonna sing.
That
on
is
PC.
that is one that I'm definitely gonna rebuy on PC because I think it's only supposed to be like $30. So I mean,
yeah. And I haven't played it since I beat it originally. I started the Frozen Wilds, but it was too late. Like after I'd already beat the game, so I couldn't really get into it.
Yeah,
I want to finish that. I've never finished it. Maybe
Yeah.
I will on PC
It's
if I
pretty
play.
good.
that's what I'm thinking.
Is
Is,
it?
I'll probably play
Yeah.
through it again and then play through Frozen Wilds.
I'm pretty excited for that. I know we've already talked about Demon Souls and Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, and all
I
that
know
stuff,
you
but
wanted to touch on the indies.
yeah, exactly. That Kenna Spirit or what the fuck was it called?
Can a
Hang on.
Bridge of Spirits?
Bridge of Spirits, yes. That game, obviously, Stray has been getting all kinds of buzz. That fucking cat with the backpack on, and then Little Devil Inside. Those like the three like main indie games that I was especially impressed with, and each one of them has over 1 million views on YouTube already. By the way, the reveal trailers for those, so that's really impressive. Obviously, it helps being a big showcase like the PS5 reveal, but I'm super excited, man. I think it's really cool for these indie developers. They've been getting a lot of love over the last couple of years, especially, and I'm pretty excited for all three of those games. To be honest with you, I don't know if I'll play them on launch. I don't even know when they launch, to be perfectly honest, but it's just pretty cool seeing them get love in a big showcase like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually another one that I don't think anybody has mentioned yet is that Returnal from Housemarque.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that looked super cool. And
All right, Jeff is gone.
Is it? Oh no.
He's either gone or he just stopped talking mid sentence, which
Oh,
Alright.
he was like,
The PS5 god said no more.
no more.
Around,
Jeff.
I got him.
no, yeah, Returnal looks kind of cool. Like it's a
Can you hear me
third-person
now?
type game.
Yes, we can
Yeah.
hear you now.
He's
okay,
resurrected.
yeah, sorry.
Jeff
about
has
that.
died
I don't know what-
multiple times over the course of doing
I
this.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's the money just brings him back. That's what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
He's the new Who Killed Kenny.
Yeah.
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 I've killed Jeff off at least 3 times myself.
At least
I know that. That one episode a long time ago where I told everybody with a straight face that you passed on.
I love that one. I mean,
What has happened more times, Jeff dying or me getting fired?
Yeah. We're
Ooh, that's a
they're out
good-
there neck
oh,
and neck.
We'll have to.
I think,
Yeah, we'll have to
probably
go
tied.
check. We'll have to look at the tapes on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
I think
What
And
are you
Goose is
talking
back
about,
right
Ash,
now, so
Jeff?
you might get fired tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, God damn it.
But anyway, the last thing I
Actually-
wanted to talk about was the PS5 itself. I think it looks fucking sweet. Marlon brought up how it looks like Alienware. A lot of people are saying it looks like a router, all this other stuff. I think it looks
like a router.
I hate the white. We've talked about this multiple times. I do not like white consoles. I don't like.
Love it.
I hate
So
it.
good.
But I think this console in particular actually does not look bad in white. I would still prefer it to be all black or like the original PlayStation gray. I think that would look sweet, especially with the black center.
White
With that
consoles matter.
rainbow logo.
It's kind of funny because I'm not gonna lie, it's sort of ironic because I love white consoles, but I totally agree with Dalton here. Like I'm not a big fan of the two-tone. I wish it was just all black.
That's what I wish too. I think that would look sweet all black.
Yeah.
Question: I don't know if this is true or maybe I got confused, but I saw a mock-up of the PlayStation 5 with the Spider-Man logo and
With the
all-
spider guy fucking in the middle, like holding the webs back and shit, like he's holding back the train. I saw that one. That was pretty cool.
So,
But
I also saw like the console looking all black and the PlayStation 5 controller had
Yep.
Miles Morales Spider-Man logo in front of it, and it looked cool. I like an all black console. I'm okay with the two-tone black and white and slash it's in bluish light from the PlayStation 5. It reminds me of like the old Alienware from the early 2000s. That's what I like. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I really want to see what other type of limited edition consoles they are able to come up with.
well, speaking of limited edition consoles, Marlon, I think we're talking about the same article. They also said something about it being customizable, which I think
Yeah.
would be a super smart move on Sony's part. Like, if they could sell those white plates on the side, they probably, I would
Oh,
imagine those would just
side
pop
plates.
off. Yeah, so you'd be able to get maybe you wouldn't have to buy the whole limited edition console, or I mean, you might have to still, but they probably sell random plates for it. Like maybe you could buy a black plate. Or
how
like
they
a-
used
I was
to
just
do
thinking about
for-
that. Like maybe it would be easy to paint, or like you could hydro dip it or something.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be easy to paint because I painted my PS4 Pro, and it came out fucking amazing. But yeah, like you said, it's plastic, so you know what I mean. I don't see why not. You just scuff it up a little bit,
Like
and
the
It's
Xbox
funny.
360 faceplates.
Thank you.
kinda-
Yeah.
I was about to say that. It's like it's coming full circle. Microsoft did it.
Yep.
Sony
You think they'd sell them for like 25,
Sony tried
30
it
bucks
there
a
for
pop?
with the first iteration of the PS4, like the original one, where
All
like
those-
that one,
yeah.
like
I
like the
remember
half
that.
plate.
They
Yeah,
didn't
like they
stick to
sold
it, though.
those. No, they
Yeah,
didn't. They
damn.
sold like 4 or 5, and then that was about it.
Damn, I forgot about that. Like I had erased that and you just put it right back in my head. I'm like, oh shit, that did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for very long,
If they
though.
did something like that, that would be cool because that would save me a lot of fucking money from having to rebuy consoles all the time.
Yeah.
Pop a plate, plug that in. You pop a plate, you plug.
Exactly.
You could do that now. You just buy.
Just
I still
collect
have-
the plate.
I still have my launch edition PS4. Like I said, I got it in December, but it was actually a launch edition with like the serial, not edition because they didn't do a launch edition PS4, but it had like the same serial number or whatever as the launch versions, which was kind of cool. And then I still have my original Pro.
I regret
Nice.
selling my OG base PS4. I sold
Same.
it to get my Pro. I kind of regret it.
I still
So I
have
kept
mine.
it.
My cousin uses it, but it's still mine. So pretty excited about that. I regret selling
Dalton's cousin, you got to be careful, man. He can take that shit away anytime. It's still his, buddy.
Yeah, it's mine, motherfucker. But the only console I regret selling in my entire life was my original PS3.
Did you ever find that Switch, dude? The one that you misplaced?
He
Did I?
sold it.
Oh yeah, I sold it. I found it and sold it.
Oh,
I found
so you
it,
did find
then
it.
Oh no,
sold
didn't
it.
you say you sold it and you forgot you sold it?
Oh yeah, I sold it to a friend of mine who really wanted to switch, and I
Forgot you
fine.
sold it?
Yeah, and I forgot I sold it, so I never lost it.
Okay.
Did you sell your?
No.
I was
you
always
said your
like, where the
lights?
fuck did you
Yeah,
misplace
yeah.
the Switch? He would always
Yeah.
say, oh, my Switch is somewhere in the house. I don't know where it is. Like months, he would just say, I don't know where it is. I'm like, where the fuck is your Switch?
I sold my Switch Lite because I got on my whole
Sold it
boycott.
to your cousin,
Nintendo.
didn't you?
Yeah, I got on my boycott Nintendo thing, and I've been on that. I've been pretty consistent with that.
Pretty much
Off your
since
high
you finished
horse.
Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah, I played that, and then I don't know, just
And then you went back to work and you're like, yeah, I'm good.
yeah. And right now, I'm committed to not buying any Nintendo products. I talked about it on the last show, so we don't need to get back into that. But
No, you're good.
so I'm just
Dalton. I'm grumpy.
hey man, I just don't like shitty practices. Of company.
I really got to listen to that episode, man.
And
The
if
Yeah,
short
you
and
really
sweet of
do.
it is
It was a
fuck
good one.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he was mad about
If
it.
I can avoid it, I'm like I said, I'm not even trying to convince other people to do it. I'm not giving them my money. That's it. I think they're a garbage ass company, to be honest with you, and I have my reasons.
Yeah.
But
Paper Mario.
And if you're
Stay tuned for
interested in listening
Pokemon
to them-
Direct tomorrow.
You can
Yeah.
check out the last episode of the AEG show.
yeah, absolutely.
He was-
If
he
you
went
get
off.
too far into it, you might get a little offended.
Slightly.
But is there anything anyone else wants to talk about on the PS5 reveal? Anything?
I think we covered most of it. I don't know. I don't would any.
I think
you guys-
real quick, Ratchet and Clank. We went a whole console generation without getting a new Ratchet and Clank. I know they did
Right.
their re-release in
for the movie.
2016.
16 for the movie.
Yeah, for the movie they did their,
Remaster?
which was cool. It was
Yeah, it was
ground
like
up
a remake,
I believe,
kind of.
Remake.
Yeah.
which is cool. But this is the first new iteration since the PlayStation 3,
Yes.
which is pretty fucking cool. And I don't know when it's gonna launch. I don't know if they said that, but
Maybe
They-
they'll make
I
a
don't-
Sly Cooper.
yeah.
Like,
doubt
for
it.
Example, like the only
I saw
thing wanna
something-
say, about the PS5, and I can let Jeff finish after this.
Yeah, with the Ratchet and Clank, I saw something. It was like that meme where it's like the guy and the girl, and the guy looks back at this other like hotter girl, and it was Ratchet was the hotter girl, and then it was next to the guy was Sly Cooper and Jack.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
love that.
how PlayStation treats their mascots now.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's get some new Jack and Dexter up in this bitch.
Fucking right. That was mine. That was my like favorite of all the mascots.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed those. I liked Ratchet and Clank better, but
Yeah.
Jack and Dexter was fun.
Wasn't Jack and Daxter a Naughty Dog game?
It was.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah,
The only-
the-
the-
But
what they did in
Marlon-
Uncharted.
No, my main issue is just mainly with the PS5 is just how they're gonna be doing, trophies and stuff and the likes. I mean,
That's the main issue? Trophies?
Because think about it, if
You said he was so serious. He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
I'll
bro,
give an example.
bro.
We had issues with trophies just by changing our username. Okay.
I didn't have
That's
any.
why I didn't change my username. Yeah.
I changed mine, but I didn't have any issues.
Like, so if Sony is known to have issues by just changing just the sheer username of the person, I don't know how they're gonna go about, when it comes to backwards compatibility and all these titles. Will they still work the same? Will they work with another
Yeah.
trophy list, or will they just unite both and just see if it works? That's what I like to see. If the system is integrated in a way that everything works seamlessly, I can play. For example, let's say that I start playing, The Last of Us 2 on the PlayStation 4, and I say, hey, I want to finish it on the PlayStation 5, and it seamlessly goes through. Then we have a beautiful console. Because this is
I think it will. I really do. I think it will.
And if it doesn't, it's just gonna be a hot pile of garbage, and people gotta.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. Like that, I sort of worry about the backwards compatibility. It's something that I've been harping on even before I sort of stopped paying attention to gaming these past 2 months. Because I'm just worried. I'm like, remasters were like a big source of income for developers this generation,
Absolutely.
and I'm like, Microsoft is literally saying, well, we have a way where you don't have to do that. You're going to lose a lot of money because we're just going to do it for free. And then on the back end, and Microsoft has always done this, to be honest. Sony hasn't really been like this, even on the PS3 generation. Microsoft has literally taken a lot of the burden from the developers' hands, and they're just doing everything in-house. So like some of the Xbox 360 games are going to be, some of the backwards compatible Xbox 360 games are going to get HDR updates.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? And I'm like, Sony... Cool. That's pretty cool. Like, you always have the counter argument. Well, I'm not going to play a 10-year-old game, and that may very well be true.
Some people will, though.
Yeah, just the fact that they will is just like a value add.
I will. I know I will. Especially if it looks good and plays well, like higher frames and stuff. Why the fuck not? Especially if it's a game you really liked, or maybe a game you missed. Maybe you missed the whole BioShock collection. You know what I mean? And I have it on PC. I still haven't played it, but I need to. But
yeah.
What if they remaster Final Fantasy X in 4K? Somebody's gonna buy it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we know who's gonna buy that, but yeah, I think it's pretty fucking sweet, man. I hate how Sony's been so quiet on all that shit too. They haven't really stated what exactly their plans are for backwards compatibility, really. I mean, aside from bringing titles from PS4 up and that they'll be playable.
PS1, PS2.
Yeah, and like you said earlier too, we don't know how they're going to be optimized either. You could have the most powerful fucking gaming PC in the world, but if a game is optimized like shit for that platform, it's going to run like shit no matter what.
Right.
The best example I can give you guys is you guys know I have a pretty decent PC, like pretty solid. Right. But I tried to play Final Fantasy 13 and it ran like fucking garbage, dude. Like I was getting frame skips and all this shit. And that game came out in like 2009. Right. So like it's just optimization. Like look at Borderlands 3 on PC when it dropped. That game fucking ran like shit on everything, on every PC. So yeah, so and Sony hasn't really talked about this at all. I'm sure they've got it under control. I'd like to think so anyway, but they haven't said anything. They haven't said how it's going to work. How like if you're going to have like graphic tickers in your settings, like where you could say, hey, like PCs do with high, low, mid, ultra, whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm genuinely curious to see stuff like that.
That's what I would like to see. That's what I would genuinely like to see. So like games are playable on the PS4 and the PS5 or whatever Xbox is doing. That's what I'd like to. I think that would be the logical choice too. So you don't have to double dip and buy like The Last of Us 2 on PS4 and PS5.
Right. Like
if you want to play in the higher quality. I mean, because if they release it on PS4 and PS5, I think that would be kind of shitty. I think that would be. I guess I shouldn't say shitty.
It feels scummy. It feels scummy
it does.
When the competition is saying, "Hey, we're not going to do that," and hey, we have a system in place or a program in place for third parties to take advantage of that same perk. So it'll just feel scummy if they charge or they release like a Last of Us 2 remaster for PS5. I'm like, man, that's shitty.
Yeah, like I said, I think they should do graphical scaling. Like I think the console should be able to do that by now. I mean,
for sure, yeah.
It's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
So I think that would be like a thing that they definitely need to do. It needs to come forward. Like so, if you have the PS4 version of The Last of Us 2 already, you should be able to play it in the quality of the PS5 version somehow. You know what I mean? Like it should be quality settings rather than PS4, PS5 version, in my opinion.
Right. You hit it right on the nail, man.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the way I think it should be, and I think that would be definitely the consumer move for Sony to do. I know they've shown in the past they don't really give too much of a shit about consumers. They were super reluctant to do crossplay for Christ's sakes because they were the best place to play apparently. Allegedly, that's what I heard anyway. But
I can love that, man. Like, for me, it was you really are in the fucking shithole when Nintendo says, yeah, we could do crossplay. Fucking Nintendo, who fucking hates fucking putting their fucking games on fucking sales, says, yeah, no, you can play with us. Yeah, you can do that. Like, fuck, man.
that's another thing we talked about too. Is I fully believe that the PlayStation 5 will far outsell the Xbox Series X or whatever they're planning. I believe, in terms of sales of the box, Sony is going to win again. But we've already talked about what Microsoft's been doing in the past, where they're not relying on selling you a box.
I've been beating that drum since 2017.
Exactly.
Sure
Yeah, you have. I'll give you that credit for
You
sure.
definitely have.
I think I think the box sales themselves don't matter as much to Microsoft as they do to a company like Sony. But so I do believe fully that the PS5's numbers are going to look better on paper, but the software that Microsoft's going to sell plus the Game Pass, you know what I mean? I don't know if they have a way of tracking that, but they're going to sell that, and they're going to sell, people are going to play their games on that because all first-party Microsoft titles coming to Game Pass is pretty fucking huge. And I don't know. I think Microsoft's prioritizing differently this generation for sure.
Yep.
Definitely.
Is there anything anyone else wants to add?
I'm good.
Okay, the last thing I did want to talk about, I got some stats for you guys. Let me bring them up real quick. Okay, our latest episode that we just released before this one that you're going to be listening to is now our second most downloaded episode of all time already.
Damn.
Just behind the
Congrats.
David Winter episode,
Nice.
which was a fantastic episode in my
I
opinion.
enjoyed that a lot.
Thanks to Dave for coming on and doing that and fucking
Was
teaching me
Was that the football guy?
the football
Yeah.
developer. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that was a lot of
I
fun.
heard that. I heard that at work. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good.
I was
episode.
floored though. Like there's a couple times where I just didn't know what to say because this guy knew he knows.
I'm gonna cop to some stuff, and I sent Marlon questions to ask.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah, he did.
it was fucking cool, man.
That's awesome, man.
I wish I could have had you on for that one, dude. I really do, because that would have
was
been
fun.
way more your speed. I was out of my element so hard on that.
I kind of was there. I kind of was there with some of the questions. I think Marlon asked like 6 or 7 questions. I was like, hey, I want you to ask this, dude.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that then, because like I said, I was that dude was way out of my league, man. He knew so much shit, and he's been in the game for so long, and that was
Yeah, that was
definitely
a good
awesome. I
episode.
learned a lot
Really
on that
good.
episode.
Dude,
But yeah,
definitely
so our new
talking
episode,
about-
hashtag grow up, is now
Mhm.
second on
Mm-hmm.
our list, and they just passed our Death Stranding spoiler cast, which was second previously, is now moved to third. Going international with Ulana has fallen to fourth because it passed that this week too.
Ulana.
And then our 2020 roadmap and games of the decade is sitting in fifth. So I'll run off the rest of our top 10 real quick. Number 6 is Marathon with Mikey or Keylok.
Nice.
Number 7 is Crankage Games. You know that Jim, that fucking guy. Gaming Nuts,
That's a
number 8.
classic.
God. Like, are you
Pantera.
serious right now, man?
Oh
Are
my
you
God.
serious doing that? Wow.
Yep, number
Petty,
number
man.
I
8 is Gaming
forgot
Nuts.
about that.
Petty,
I did
man.
too, honestly.
We did that episode right before it was like all that shit.
All
It-
the shit hit the
we
fan.
launched that episode, and
Yeah.
then all this shit came out like a week later, man.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was like-
such bad timing. Even I was like, I don't even know what to do here. Like, taking
I'll
time
give you
to-
an example. The reason why I
we
love
kept it up,
that,
by the way. You can
We
I
listen.
did.
love that episode, and I'll tell you why.
It was a good
Because
episode.
of the entirety of what happened. So number one is we going in there thinking, hey, you know what? We're gonna have a decent guest here. We're gonna have a great time. We take the show. We do everything. We do it. Literally a week before, we just see it turn into absolute bullshit and crap, and we're just like, oh crap. Shit, what do we do now? And Dalton, I remember Dalton like texting the group chat going, guys,
to do.
what do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, you were like, I don't know what to
this is. Should I delete the episode? Should I like, no, you know what? No, leave it like
Fuck
that.
it.
Leave it.
Keep it up.
I fucking love that, man.
That fucking guy. And honestly, I want to give myself and Goose credit real quick because like we did the episode and stuff, but before all that stuff come out, he and I like said something in the Discord multiple times too. Like we think this guy's a little fucking shady. Like we started feeling it, and he's like scamming people in his streams and stuff. We're like, this guy seems a little like we stopped going to his streams and stuff. Like this guy kind of seems like a piece of shit. Like we said it.
Well, I was at first, and then I was like, wait a minute, something's off about this guy, man.
We were high on him because he was a developer and he did know quite a bit about like Steam and all that shit. Like I'll give him credit for that. But the dude was just kind of a piece of shit in more ways than one. Like, turns out he's like threatening to like fucking kill his girlfriend and shit. And there's text messages and shit to prove it. Like,
man.
God, we haven't talked about that motherfucker in almost a year.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel for guests in the early days.
Oh God.
Honestly, not really. We were killing it.
It was.
We had
that's the thing. It wasn't like. In paper, it sounded like a decent guess. We have a developer who's making video games all by himself. That he's in making funny content.
Sounded like it at the time.
And here's the thing, though.
Who knows? I might have just let him on anyway, even if I would have known all that stuff. Who knows?
Here's the thing for me though. It's the fact that I always tell Gustavo this. I'd rather deal with an honest asshole than a hypocritical nice guy. Because
he was not. It's not that though. He was not an honest asshole. He's a fucking lying
scumbag. So
scamming people's money.
I'd rather deal with somebody who's a complete asshole, but at least he's honest about shit that he's doing. Hey, listen, you know what? I'm an asshole. We don't like it. Well, too bad. If you like me, well, that's
I don't
good.
know anyone that matches that description.
But I seen people who's like, oh no, man, I'm not doing this for the money. I am doing this for the love of the game, bro. I am doing this for the love of my fans. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Like, no, you're doing it for money, man.
Do you remember like how much he made like yearly? And then Dalton was so direct. He was like, oh man, like, oh that's crazy. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to live like that. But hey, man, more power to you. You said something like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it was like something
I don't remember. Yeah. It was about a year ago when we recorded that. It took us about a month.
Yeah, hit him hard. I was like, oof.
Yeah, yeah. He was a little bit like he was lost for words for a second. He's like, what?
Like what? Like, well, I'm just painting roads, man. I'm just making a lot of money. You're making it in 1 month, man. I'll say that. So here's the thing, though. It's one of those things where like you look back on it and you start laughing, but when it happened, you're freaking out. You're going, what the hell do we do?
You're like, what the fuck do we do?
But looking back on it, it's like, you know what? It's just the nature of things. And I'm pretty sure, Podcast Beyond has had so many fucking issues, even with, oh my God, what's the name of this guy that used to be in Podcast Beyond?
My wife's not racist. She has a black eye.
Jesus.
He says as he's holding a pistol.
I don't know whether to laugh or shit or why not watch him.
Man, you are such a piece of shit, man. Dalton, you're such a piece of shit, man. Like, I really wasn't expecting that.
It was a funny joke, though. It was a funny joke.
Anyone that actually knows me knows that I'm not beating my wife that much. Like,
God. Oh my God.
Kidding, guys. Kidding.
Still kidding.
Oh my God, dude, what was the name of the guy? Oh, Marty Silva from the IGN. Even when that shit happened with fucking IGN.
Silva.
I forgot about that.
Like, he just basically said, fuck it, I am done with the fucking gaming industry. I am just going.
What did we ever find out why he left or anything?
There's rumors going around that
he was a creep or something, like Vincent Janito.
No, there's rumors going around that basically he was kinda had a crush on this girl, and he was making certain comments and moves that she didn't particularly like. Or
you can't hit on certain girls nowadays. You can't. It's just like ugh. You gotta be careful. You gotta pick and choose.
Basically, it was like a situation in house and in IGN where it basically said, you know what, sorry dude, we just gotta cut you loose because that's
there was that whole Vincent Janito thing probably a couple months back with that Callie Plaggy from GameSpot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of crazy shit going on right now.
A lot of creeps.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, can't deny that.
I think it was with
real quick.
Lana, I guess was the whole issue with
Alana Pierce. It was.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't even think she's that pretty, to be honest.
I think it was with the whole issue with Lana Pierce, and even then I'm like, yeah, not dealing with that shit.
That's weird. I thought they were like friends and stuff. Like anyway, whatever.
That's the issue. That's where the issue goes from friends to yeah. So basically, he became persona non grata on IGN. He just said like, sorry, dude, like we gotta cut you loose. You're
IGN has
toxic.
changed. Like IGN has completely changed.
Dude, man, IGN, man.
They've lost a lot of trust over the last several years.
Yeah, and all the new talent. I'm just like, ugh.
Even with some of the talent
Kotaku's
from
fucked now too. I mean, like him or hate him, Jason Schreier was their only. You know, what I mean, their
Jason
only
Schreier
shining
was a
spot.
golden
Really.
goose, and he
Did you
left.
guys read? Did you guys read that review? I didn't read it, but I saw like the line, like the header. I think it was from Polygon for The Last of Us 2. Was it? I think it was Maddie Myers or something. Like something about like he was talking about how violent it is and like it's not.
Dude,
I'm
I
like,
saw
man,
that.
she came out with that big pussy energy with that fucking review. Like the fuck.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
we knew
love
it was
that-
gonna be violent. Did you see the first trailer for that shit?
Dude, I
Yes.
love that review for that reason. Because she goes, "Oh my god, this game is so violent. People are not gonna like it." Well, what do you expect? It's a fucking.
I'm
game
going
about
to
the apocalypse
love
for crying
it.
out loud.
I guarantee I'm gonna. I already know I'm gonna love that game. Like I'm going into it knowing I'm going to love it. Like I'm super excited. The first one was a masterpiece. They're not gonna fuck it up. Naughty Dog has not fucked up anything in 20 years.
So it's not making more Jack and Dexter games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
that's Naughty Dog's only fuck up right now. Because you got to
I
remember
guess-
all five Uncharted or all six Uncharted games are good. I don't think Golden Abyss was Naughty Dog though, was it?
No, that was.
It was not. I didn't think so.
What was
So the Naughty Dog developed Uncharted games are all really good, including The Lost Legacy, which is arguably better than Uncharted 4. If just depends on what you're into. I think it's right up there. And then obviously The Last of Us, the first one was a gem. So real quick though, Marlon, I want to round out the top 10. So seven was
Ben Studios.
7 was Crankage Games. 8 was Gaming Ruts. 9 was Unburying the Gem with what was that guy's name? That Buried Gems podcast guy. And then number 10 is A Whole New World. I don't think I was on that episode, but I don't know. I
I
don't.
don't remember that one.
It released last
Holy
April.
world.
It released
I
last.
just remember
April.
Marlon saying "a whole new world" a
I don't
bunch.
think so. I don't think so.
That's all I remember of that podcast.
Yeah, I was definitely not on that one.
I'm gonna look that up. I can't.
So, yeah,
remember.
solid,
I'm trying to remember what that is now.
Solid top 10 for sure. And
So
I'm just,
for the record, no Chi, no Mermaid, no Sega Master Tim.
I'm super
Man,
surprised.
disappointing.
To be fair to Ariel,
You know what? Fuck
J-
Sega Master Tim. He was full of himself. He was a fucking glorified call boy. That's it. Sorry.
I like
Get
Sega
that off
Master
my
Tim.
chest.
I thought he was
I wanted to
hilarious.
get that off my chest. He was a pretty cool dude, but he was a glorified call boy.
Yeah, but I liked him. I thought he was funny. And Goose, obviously not. But to be fair to Ariel Jade was what she goes by now. She does not go by Jaded Mermaid anymore. To be fair to her, we did her episode live and got a ton of views on that live. And a lot of people have rewatched the live broadcast of that, plus watched it on YouTube. So her download numbers are a little bit lower on like the podcast sites, but it's still up there somewhere. I think it's slightly behind these top 10, to be honest with you. So
yeah, I liked that episode. She was pretty informative about like how she made her money, which is pretty cool.
yeah, and she's actually come a long way since then, and she's definitely interested in doing the show again. I actually just reached out to her today, so we'll see. I want to try to. I asked her if she wanted to do Labor Day weekend again, so keep an eye on that, fellas. All listeners out there, because I know we got a lot of compliments on that episode too. So,
So let's stay on her good side.
oh, for sure, she's way bigger than we'll ever be. But
We can offend
yeah,
everybody else. Just don't offend.
I'm not. No. Yeah. No. No.
But real quick too, obviously we made quite a few announcements on the last episode. Actually, a couple episodes this year already. We've talked about it. Me, Colt, Marlon, and Jeff have talked about it. I know Goose has listened to a couple of the episodes too, so he might have a general idea. But we're branching out of just gaming. We got a lot of other hobbies. A lot of us got a lot of other stuff going on in our lives as well. And to be honest with you, haven't really had a whole lot of time for gaming. We're still gamers, I would definitely say, but it's not all that we are. We have strong opinions. We have other shit that we want to talk about, and this is our platform. So that's what we're gonna do. Appreciate you all listening. Go ahead.
Never pinned you as a strong opinion guy.
Me? No, not at all.
No.
I do a pretty good job at
soft-spoken.
yeah. I don't do a good job. I was gonna say I do, but I don't. But
You
So, yeah,
can't even lie about it. Like,
I'm not even good at it. But we got a lot of different stuff we're gonna talk about on this show. Surprisingly, no backlash after last episode, which I thought we were going to have. I'm not gonna lie, I told these guys to brace for it and everything, but we didn't. We lost quite a few followers, but fuck it. I would prefer people do that too. Like if you don't want to hear our shit, that's fair. Just unfollow. Don't tell me you're unfollowing, because to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck either. So just unfollow, leave.
Government.
Yeah,
Government
exactly.
sucks and God is a lie.
There's a quote from Colt 40, quote of the year.
Jesus.
If you don't like it, you can fuck off.
I think that sums up. One of our members pretty well.
Yeah, all right, motherfuckers, we're here. So
Go back and listen to the last
you guys
episode.
just
It's
like
already
you
the
guys
second
just like
highest
doing this
downloaded.
shit, I think. But
Lord,
I can't really say that though. I'm not that anti. Like I don't like religion, and anyone that knows this. But I don't dislike religious people, if that makes sense. I think you should be able to believe whatever the fuck you want to believe, and not shove it down people's throat, regardless if it's whatever it is, whatever you believe. Even if it's nothing. Like I've seen a lot of fucking atheists that'll fucking throw their shit down at other people, or they'll just completely like go left field and just completely like just start trashing religion and stuff like that. And I don't do that. Like I just don't happen to believe in anything. That's all. I'm just a jaded old man.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm
So grumpy.
fucking jaded as fuck too.
Yeah, so no hate to I'm not Colt 40's level over here fucking
Hey,
God is a
love
lie.
God.
I don't necessarily believe that either.
I love
honestly-
God. I just hate religion.
That's fair. I can get behind that.
The church is a scheme. It's all money. It's a business, just like everything else.
Yeah. I've actually got quite a few buddies like that like they believe in God and they consider themselves Christians or whatever, but they don't like the organization part of it, and I can respect that too.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
give you, I'll
I
give
hear
you the
that.
best example that I can give you for that. It was for me.
Colt 40
I
religion.
I grew up in a religious family. I grew up Christian,
Of course you did.
and me personally, I feel I am somewhat agnostic and somewhat, Christian like that. I don't know what's out there, but I do believe there's something out there. What gets me though is the fact that when you start seeing the evangelist movement, stuff like that, like those people who says, "Hey, no, I am a priest, I am a God on earth here to save you. I will save you from all this corona." And I'm like, what happened to those motherfuckers asking for help now that corona is here? Okay, let me ask you something, motherfuckers. What happened to that? What happened to your leader, your messiah coming helping you out with those fucking things? Where's your money from that? And I love how those people, when corona started, everybody like just hide it. Like everybody just went into hiding. Nobody saw nothing. Now after 3-4 weeks, they come out and says, "See, it was my work here all along that stopped corona." I'm like, fuck you. I shut up, dude. Just shut up, man.
I
You're a
think,
fucking scum, man. You're a scum.
I think we can all agree the Joel Olsteins of the world are pieces of shit.
Roger.
Yeah, like those guys are scumbags. Let's be honest. They just capitalize off of people who will believe anything you say, and that's
Man.
yeah.
Like,
Obviously, we got
it's
the
just-
Jim Jones and fucking David Koresh and all that shit too. So those are cults. But yeah, we had to go there. We had to go. You had to bring that up, dude. I could see it in your
You wanna
fucking
be
face.
in a cult? Be in a cult.
Yeah, I guess.
Cult 40.
Colt 40. There you go. If you're looking for a good cult to join that one.
That's my new Twitter handle. Cult 40.
Yeah.
Follow me. Follow me. Everything is all right. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night.
No, Uncle Cracker. Is that who that was?
Uncle Cracker. Are you fucking
But no,
Jeff is like, we're going down into the show.
Correct.
Jeff checked out. Jeff checked out. He's like, I checked out. Too.
He's like, I can't listen to this nonsense, guys. But yeah, that's basically the gist of the shit you're gonna hear from now on this show. We're just gonna talk about whatever the fuck we want to. Gaming is still gonna be a focus. Hobbies are still gonna be a focus, but we've just got more of them. And to be honest with you, some of us are a little out of our element. Like we have been so disconnected from the gaming community for months at this point. But some of us have some other shit we want to talk about too, and we still want to do this. We still like still like getting together. Even I've said it multiple times over the 2.5 years we've been doing this show that I don't really care if anyone listens. I just like doing this. I think it's fun. We've slowed down the shows too. We're only doing 1 or 2 a month tops, which is better for all of us because we're busy and we don't want to feel like this is a burden.
A chore. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what it became. We all got burned out, especially at the end of last year, end of 2019, beginning of 2020. We were all just fucking. I can't speak for you guys, but I was wiped, man. Like there was times where I was just like, "Fuck this! I don't want to do this at all anymore." So I don't want it to be like that.
Yeah, just real quick before you go on, completely checking out from the game industry for the past, like, I don't know, close to 2 months, maybe a little more. I realized I'm like, man, I was just like so in it, and I sort of expected everybody else to be in it, and like it's not easy. Like you just can't. And now that I've checked out completely, and I look at all the news that I miss, and I see things like I still get notifications on Twitter, but I'm like, what? This happened? This is coming out? Because I've just checked the fuck out. Like gaming will always be a part of my life, but at this point right now, I'm just like I feel bad because I just don't care. Like the PlayStation 5 was revealed, and my reaction was like, meh.
Same. What was I telling you guys in the Discord? Like, I'm not even excited for the reveal. So
I'm like, meh. Yeah. And like I saw half of it, and like then I was like, all right, whatever. I'm going out. I'm not fucking watching this. And then I actually I rewatched it again, and then I just wasn't interested. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's just maybe it's the COVID, maybe it's just being home all this time. Maybe it's just like a different outlook on life. I don't know. I still love games. I'm not gonna. I would never shit on games, but it's not like
there's other shit
focused
going
on it. Yeah, there's other shit going on for sure.
So, like, I'll tell you how much I have checked out. Like, I will tell you how much I have checked out from video games. I have not kept out with any news for most of IGN or Microsoft, Sony. I just check the barely minimum whenever I can. But here's when I know that I have checked out. When I saw the latest trailer for Destiny and Vault of Glass being shown again. It's like, hey, listen, we're bringing the Vault of Glass. And my first reaction was like, oh, okay.
I think it's cool though.
Changing the channel. Yeah. I literally just went and I saw that, just went skip the fucking trailer. I skipped the trailer for fucking Destiny, like season 4 or year 4, whatever. Because I am done. I mean, like literally, I there's no.
It's about time.
I think it's unrealistic for somebody to play a game for 10 years and still keep that same hype and mentality of like, oh man, I want to go back and play. There's only so much that you can do when you keep replaying the same game over and over and over and over again. Just different weapons and different skins in it. Same thing why I checked out for Diablo 4. Diablo 3 is the same thing why I checked out from most of the games. Even Monster Hunter, I just said, you know what, I am done. I play my share. I think almost 700 hours. I think that's enough of playing a game. And it's just the nature of things. I just haven't felt the need to play any video games lately. I just haven't felt the need to even turn out the PS4. The last time I turned out the PS4 was to go and download World War II because it was free. Yeah. That is the only reason why I did it. I don't know, man. I just
Did you guys ever watch the movie Project X?
I don't think
seen bits and pieces. I have not seen the entire movie.
Forget it. I was gonna make a joke, but it'll just go over your head. So
I definitely would. I have never seen it. But yeah, so what we're all alluding to is that we have all got other shit going on. Gaming is definitely not as high of a priority as it was even last year. But even last year, like all of it, we couldn't even do a Game of the Year show last year because none of us had played dick last year, and it's even worse this year. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. I haven't played shit. Like, I'll give you an example. I have the bad habit of I'm still buying games. That habit left. So I bought Civ 6. I bought Remnant from the Ashes. I bought Maneater. I bought Our World Is Ended, which is like some Japanese game that I know nothing about. I just bought it because it was $15. I got a problem, man. And I haven't played any of it. I haven't played shit. And I'll be honest, I have no plans on playing anything. But The Last of Us 2 this weekend. The Last of Us 2 this weekend.
Oh yeah, we'll all still be playing like that, something like that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'll definitely play Cyberpunk when it comes out. I'm definitely gonna play Valhalla when it comes out. Yeah.
The
But-
guy sort of looks like you.
Me?
If you squint and like you grow some hair
Yeah.
up top, I see it.
Yeah.
If you grow some
Grow some hair up top. I'm working on it. No, I'm not. I've accepted the fact that I'm bald and I gave up years ago. I tried Rogaine for like 2 weeks when I was like 22.
I love that. I love that he was just so honest about that. I tried Rogaine.
For 2
That
weeks.
shit
For 2
So
weeks.
of course it didn't work.
No, it would have, but I just, dude, I don't care, man. I look good bald. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I pull it off as long as I keep up with shaving my head. If I get lazy, then I look stupid. But yeah, so plenty of shit we're gonna talk about on here. Obviously, you guys know that if based on 2020, we're not gonna be putting out episodes every week, and we'll probably never go back to that format. We'll be here when shit breaks out, like COVID-19. When, because we were there, we did an episode on that.
Good.
And the PS5 reveal just happened. We're almost a week late, but we're here. We're talking about it.
Almost a week late, man.
We'll be here for you guys. We know, especially based on our last episode, we've got listeners out there, and we appreciate you guys a ton. All of our 2020 episodes so far that we've released have all got really good downloads, especially compared to like previous episodes in 2019, 2018, all that stuff. So we appreciate it. Like I said, our latest episode before this one is already our second most listened to. So thank you guys for all of that. Thanks to Jeff, Colt 40, and Marlon for backing me up in my times of absence too. Like, you guys still keeping the Discord active, still talking, keeping shit going, keeping me motivated, all that stuff. And thank you to Goose for coming back and doing this episode with us. Definitely missed having you on, man. Definitely missed bullshitting with you.
Thank you for welcoming me back, bro. I appreciate it.
Dude, any time, man.
Who said you were welcome?
Dalton
Just
did.
invited you.
I actually did.
Dalton did.
Colt, we already fired you
Colt,
a
you're
couple times.
fucking
You gotta
fired.
push it, brother.
Damn it.
Goose, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Son
Say
of
it.
a bitch.
I'm a nice guy now.
No, I just fired him. He's good.
You know that's
These
not
past 8 weeks have humbled the shit out of me, man. Trust me.
true. Yeah, not me. I'm still the same fucking prick. But
Skinny Goose is a nicer goose.
yeah, doesn't have all that rage. You burned it off.
Yeah.
No. To the listeners out there, so you guys don't understand. The past couple of months, I have been so fucking proud of this motherfucker. You guys have no idea how proud I've been of this motherfucker, because he had a goal at the beginning of the year. He said, "I want to go down
Busted
from
ass.
my weight to
That's
sub
right.
200. I want to go down to sub 200. I want to do it." And he put on the work, bro. He did something that not a lot of people tend to do, which is fix their diets. That is something that people hate doing. And he just, you know what? I'm going to be a trooper. I'm going to go there, fix my diet. I'm going to make sure that I prep my meals correctly. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing my stuff that I need to do, that I'm going to go out there and walk, make sure that I actually burn out some of the fat. And he went down, bro. What are you seeing right now? 193, 194, Gustavo?
194 as of this morning.
Good, man.
Hell yeah.
Get sexy.
So, like, if you see Gustavo, you would have seen Gustavo back, I want to say 2017, 2018.
Oof.
Dude.
Oof.
Dude, we're talking about a 250, 240 pound
Since Marlon
dude.
won't fight me, he will now be fighting Goose.
Oh,
Yeah, there we
Do
go.
you really? Look, I am not gonna fight you because I know you're gonna beat the fucking crap out of me, okay? And I'm not gonna fight
yeah,
Goose
dude,
because he's
you
gonna beat
definitely
the
fucking
crap
treat me
out
like
of
a
me
rag
too.
doll. Nah, you definitely treat me. I've lost so much strength. Just real quick before we log off, Marlon made fun of me. So like my TV's, it's pretty big TV. It's a flat screen, but I used to be able to just lift it. No chest, just lift it up before when I was bigger. And I got a new mountain rack because I needed to straighten it out because it wasn't parallel or whatever. And man, I couldn't fucking lift the TV. I didn't have the strength. I'm like, oh my God. Like, yeah, it's good that I lost weight, but I've lost so much power.
And the thing about this is, one thing that I told Gustavo that I just find it funny is that, and this for me is one of the funniest stories ever, because we're talking about dieting, we're talking about losing weight, we're talking about all this stuff, and he was doing it. He was losing 5 pounds here, 5 pounds there, 10 pounds here, 10 pounds there, and slowly going down the weight. And I'm like, oh shit, I haven't told Gustavo this. Like, yeah, when the minute he starts losing weight, he's gonna start getting really cold because he has no more fat to help him with just with the cold. And I go, hey yo, and I text him, hey yo, Gustavo. Yeah, I forgot to tell you this too. If you've been feeling really cold lately, that's because of the lost weight. You have no more fat to insulate your body to keep you warm. And he's like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I was going crazy. I was fucking going crazy with that shit. I thought I was sick. I thought I had corona. I thought I was gonna die.
Dude, I bet he was super fucking pissed at me. I sent him a sweatshirt that was like 3XL or something like that because I thought that's what he wore. He probably opened that. I was like, fuck this motherfucker, dude.
Nah.
Fuck him.
I was
Like-
surprised. I didn't know what it was until I saw it. I was like, oh shit, it's like a jersey. It's got Goose. It's got 7. I thank you for that. I totally love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
New York
I just,
nights are getting cold.
just got mine
Yeah.
in the mail today.
Nah,
That's
it's
an
nice.
Under Armour?
Yours the Under Armour one, nice man.
Yeah, I bought myself an Under Armour one.
I
Sorry,
think
guys.
you said on the podcast
No,
or
that's why
either
it
on
took so
Twitter,
long.
you said something like, oh yeah, you were like, oh, I sent like all the boys got it except me. What the hell, blah blah.
Yeah. I did. I just got mine today, and I ordered them all at the same time. Goose got
Sprung
his
for the
first.
nice one.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
myself the nice one. Like, sorry guys. I mean, those ones look pretty nice though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Dude,
they are.
but the thing that gets
Right.
me is like the thing that I love about the whole hoodie thing and the shirts that Dalton keeps sending me is like, oh man, it's a nice hoodie. Or I'm gonna wear.
He lives in Miami,
Yeah.
and I forget. I forget everything.
It's like,
I even
what?
apologized in
It's like,
Discord.
when
I'm
am I
like,
gonna wear
fuck,
this? Fuck. It's like,
dude. It's
At
like
least
90
this one's
degrees.
lightweight.
no,
Yeah.
but like the first one's like, oh, this is a really nice hoodie, man. I love it. It's like, oh,
The first
Maybe-
ones I personalized the shit out of. Like I personalized everyone's hoodie on the first ones. Actually, Danny hadn't joined us yet when I did those ones, but
Oh, he had been fired. I had fired him already. He hadn't
Yeah,
been
that's what-
reinstated yet. Yeah,
It
yeah.
Yeah,
already
so-
came and gone.
Yeah. That's
What happened with Danny was the fact that went to Trump Tower and he met Goose there, and Goose was like, "You're fired."
Oh, this
I
is
don't wanna
going
see you.
places that I don't
Yeah,
think
I
you
wanna
want to
see
go.
you. I want to see you here. You're a cult. You're a cult. I don't want to see you here. Only true 40s can be here. Not cult 40s. Only true 40s here. Seriously.
I don't know
wanna
what's
say
going.
this to you, Dalton, is that thank you for the hoodies. Thank you for the shirts, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks
it.
again, man.
It's
Yeah, no problem,
It's
man.
a really
I-
nice gift. It's a really
Yeah,
nice
I
gift.
appreciate everything you guys do. That's why
I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, I got a brand new sweater. I'll take it. I like it too. It looks good on me.
Can't wear the fucking thing, but yeah,
No. He can wear it. He lives in fucking New York, but
you got to dress.
I can totally wear it.
dude,
yeah.
all
But-
he has to do is grab a fucking pillows, put it inside, just walk around looking like Santa Claus. That's all he has to do, man. Get more insulation right there.
Marlon,
But-
next year when I do next year's stuff, because I plan on doing this at least once a year, I'll send you like a fucking tank top or something.
Just send me a
Speedo.
or a fucking.
But-
Ooh, a
Speedo.
Speedo. I like that.
No.
We
like
also, real quick, while we're on the subject, we also have face masks on our store. So if you guys want an AEG face mask, they're on there.
God.
We have a six can fucking cooler now.
Six can cooler.
Yeah, which is I might actually order that for myself because
It just has the
You're an
Colt 40
all-American
logo on
boy.
it.
yeah, that's all it is. That's all it says. But yeah, like I said, appreciate everyone for listening. Thank you guys for being on the show. I don't really have anything else I want to say. That's it for me. So if there's anything you guys want to say it now, or I will close out the show.
I just want to say thank you for inviting me back. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be a little awkward, but it just it felt like home, to be honest.
Honestly, I didn't think it would be. I wasn't worried about it, man. I don't want to go into too much detail or history, but I never got mad. I was never upset, really. I just had to do my thing, and you had to do yours, and I don't have any remorse.
Water under the bridge.
Water under the fridge. Yep, that's exactly right.
Water under the-
But, yeah, no hate here. I've been last couple episodes I've even mentioned you on. I was talking you up and shit. So
Thank you.
nothing for me, dude.
Yes,
But-
It's business as usual.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I don't hold grudges, man. Not that there was any, you know what I mean, but you guys.
I do.
know.
I hold
But
grudges.
yeah, Marlon's an asshole.
I hold grudges.
but
so
Anyway, this no, Marlon, we're gonna end the show. thank you all for listening. That's the end of this one. Hopefully we'll be back soon, probably another month or so, if I had to guess. So
Heck
thank
yeah.
you guys for listening.
A lot of expectation there, month or so.
Yeah.
Bye.